Hey guys, welcome back. We are at day 7 of our 90-day challenge of cold calling agents. It's been a really, really fun 7 days so far, 6 days, I guess, technically. We've gotten some good momentum here with a lot of fun deals. So let's just continue the momentum and we'll keep calling away. So I'm going to go through, we got a bunch of new leads. So I'm going to go through a bunch of these new leads. And then tomorrow we're going to do a lot of calling on offer sent, that sort of thing. So let's get into this. All right, let's do this.
Hey, this is Christian Schlimmer. Sorry I'm not here to take your call. Please leave me a detailed message.
Today feels like one of those days where we're not going to get a ton of pickups. That's okay. That guy just texted back and said that he is not free. He's going to call us back very shortly. So maybe we will talk to him.
Hello?
Hey, that's Mike. How you doing?
Good.
Good. I'm calling you about your list on. I just saw it listed over the weekend.
Yeah.
Cool. It looks like a great property. Have you gotten a lot of activity on it?
Not yet. No showings confirmed, just a lot of calls and texts.
Okay. And it says new construction here on Zillow. I'm a buyer, by the way. I'm not looking at the MLS. So
Okay.
it says
Got you.
it says new construction. Is this a brand new property or what's the story here?
So I think I had my assistant put it up. So it's newer. Sorry, apologies. I'll fix that. It's a newer property. It was built in 2021 or 2022, I believe. One owner, they want to move out to the coast sooner than later. Her husband passed away, not in the house, but once after closing on the home, and she just no longer wants to live there, so she kind of wants to sell. She's open into doing some I would say unconventional financing. As long as we talk about it, get it under contract. That's something she's open to because she has a low mortgage rate. She has about, I think hers was around the 3s. Back when you could find that type of mortgage rate.
Yeah, the old days, the good old days.
That's kind of where they are. The good old days, exactly, the good old days. But fairly new home, no issues, no structural problems. They haven't had any complaints on anything. And she's willing to part with some of the furniture if you're like, oh, like the couch or like TVs, she can, add the contract as well.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I like the furniture. The furniture thing is kind of interesting to me because I might be using this as a rental. So I'm curious, are there any rental restrictions in the area?
Short term or long term?
Either one. I don't know if you know of any of them, but I'm just kind of curious about anything.
If you want, I can send you a list of the short term because the community doesn't allow a long term. It does not allow short term.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's fine. Do you know what the threshold is? Is it 30 days or 60 days?
I believe it's for the rentals, they would be long term, so 6 months at a time.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, so midterm is probably not a possibility either.
If you're looking for short term, you'd probably be best looking in the Kissimmee area, closer to Davenport. Even Champions Gate is maybe the farthest I would go. You can go into Claremont as well. I focus on short term rentals. That's my main, was my main bread and butter before rates went up and investors went away. But those would probably be best. If you're looking for something that can yield higher rental income and pay for itself, there's a couple other interesting properties to look at in other communities that I can send you. This one would be more, I would say, would be for an owner who's looking for themselves, to be honest.
And
I don't want to lie to you.
No, I appreciate that. That's fine with me. In fact, what really interests me about this one, and I'm glad that you said it, because for me, whenever I purchase a property, a rental property or a property for myself, the real asset for me is actually the financing that's already in place. So I'm attracted to the idea of her potentially doing something along those lines. What have you guys explored with regard to that?
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you say that again? I have really bad signal right now. I'm in Pittsburgh on a little business trip real quick. Why don't we do this? I'll be back in Orlando tonight. I can call you tomorrow morning if that works for you, and we can go over the property.
That's fine. I'm going to text you over my contact info, and then if I don't hear from you by noon tomorrow, I'll just give you a phone call.
Okay, perfect. That sounds great.
Thank you.
I will text you, and we'll just schedule for something tomorrow. So I'm literally at the airport as we speak, getting picked up.
That sounds great.
I literally just hear a ton of everything else.
Well, travel safely.
Sorry?
I said travel safely.
Oh, thank you so much. You have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay?
All right, cool. Let's send her my contact info. What's cool about that is that there was no assumption in the description of the property. Let's see. Okay. So on this one, there was no description of assumption. They mentioned something along the lines of solar panels, so I'm going to have to explore that a little bit. But I don't want to do that quite yet. But this is a potentially good deal. It looks like it's an FHA, really low interest rate FHA. So that interests me at the very least. So I'm going to talk to her tomorrow. Okay. She kind of switched around, right, when I said that I'm a buyer instead of an agent. So I'm curious why that happened. But her mood lightened up a little bit. Maybe it's because she feels like she can double end it. I don't know. But, worth a shot. Let's see where this all goes here.
Hello, this is Avery.
Hey, this is Mike. How you doing?
Hey, Avery, this is Mike. How you doing? How are you?
I'm good. I'm calling you about your new listing.
Huh?
I'm calling you about your new listing that you have on. I was calling. I saw it on Zillow. I'm looking for a rental in the area, and I'm curious to learn a little bit more about the neighborhood.
Okay, you said you're looking for a rental?
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, that home's for sale. It's not for rent.
No, that's not what I mean. I'm looking to buy a rental. I'm not looking to rent a home. I'm looking to buy a rental property.
Okay, gotcha.
So tell me about the neighborhood. Are there any rental restrictions in the neighborhood?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked into that. I don't believe so.
Okay.
I will tell you, we do have 2 offers on the property already.
Already?
We have to respond to by 6 o'clock at night.
Okay. Are those conventional offers?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Awesome. Do you think that either one of those offers is going to work? I guess what I'm trying to figure out, should I submit an offer today just to compete?
I mean, you can. Other than we don't have to see to respond to. that is, when the seller's planning on accepting it.
Okay, yeah, I could barely,
We should have an offer.
I could barely hear you. Did you say that the seller was going to accept one of those two offers?
Yeah, they plan on accepting one of them. But you still have time to put one in.
Okay. Can you give me any insight into how I could potentially put my name at the top? Is it cash to seller? What's the thing that is really appealing to them, the buyer or the sellers, excuse me?
They're just looking for as much of it as possible, and it is contingent on bankruptcy court approval, so flexibility on that. Been told to give at least 45 days, but I went ahead and asked for 60, so 60 days to close.
Okay, got it. So 60 days to close. It's part of a bankruptcy, so the mortgage has been included in the bankruptcy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they have to get trustee approval.
Got it. Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, let me take a quick look at this and see if it's worth me submitting an offer. If it is, I'll get back to you this afternoon.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. Okay, so we talked about this a little bit last week, right? Or at least a few days ago. Lacking energy. The guy, when he picked up, it was like, how can I get some more energy out of you? You're trying to sell a house. Let's work together on something like this. He was lacking some of that energy. So that was a little bit frustrating. What turned me off of this was, first of all, the fact that there were two other offers on the property. This thing has only been listed for a couple of days. So having two offers in the first day or so, maybe it's priced right. That's probably what I'm assuming. And then the bankruptcy note was also super interesting because if there is a bankruptcy involved with the seller, and if the mortgage is included in the bankruptcy, it's going to be very, very difficult, if not impossible, for us to do a sub 2, for example. This one I'm not so disappointed about. It's a mid-5s FHA. It looks like it's right at break even. So it's not like it's a fantastic deal. So in this situation, because the mortgage was included in the bankruptcy, I'm just going to simply move on and see if we can find something better. So I'm just going to kill this deal right here really fast. And we'll just keep on moving. All right, let me make a quick note here. All right, let's keep on rolling.
Thank you for calling the Rutherford Group, Keller Williams, for the...
I have spoken with this one before. Huh. Interesting. Hold on. Let me find some more data for me to call here. This is all stuff that I've called, I think. Let's see here. There might be a couple that I haven't. Huh. Let's call this one. That's why. Thank you.
This is Safety Elizabeth.
Oh, hi. I'm looking for, please.
I'm Optics team. How may I help you?
My name is Mike. I'm calling about a property he has listed on Prosperity Church, and I have a few questions for Matt.
Okay. Okay. Let me see. Let me see who's listing that one. Are you an agent?
No, I'm a buyer.
Oh, okay. Hold on 1 second.
Are there any questions that I can answer for you about that one?
Maybe I'll ask my initial questions and let me know if Matt or someone else is better for these. So I'm looking for a possible rental to purchase in the area. So I'm looking to buy this and then rent it out long term. And so I'm just curious if there are any rental restrictions in the area. That's my initial question.
Okay. I can probably help you with that. All right. Let's see. Pull this one up. Okay, yeah, that's the townhome. All right. All right, Talika is the listing agent. Let me get your contact information and find out if there are any rental restrictions on that property, and then I'll give you a call back.
Sure. I have a bunch of other questions that are specific as well. So should I speak with the listing agent, the co-listing agent? What's the best way for me to get those questions answered?
Yes. I can give you the co-listing agent's number.
Awesome. That'd be helpful.
Her name is Salika, Salika.
Okay.
Salika, and her last name is Mansfield, Mansfield, and her number is 650-399-6997.
Awesome. I'll give Salika a call then.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. I should have just cut to the chase and asked for the co-listing agent's contact info. I always want to talk with the person who's actually listing the property. This is a situation that we ran into, I think it was either yesterday or the day before, where the listing agent who is listed on Zillow or Redfin or whatever I'm looking at right here is the owner of the office, the broker of the office, and not the listing agent. So in this situation, the co-listing agent, I'm going to need to reach out to her specifically and ask her the questions. It sounds like the broker isn't really even made aware of the stuff, but the listing agent is. So let me change the info right here. And let's call this again. I'm going to double dial her.
Your call has been forwarded.
For some reason, I just think it's going to work. We'll see. Nope. Let's send her a text. Double dial her. I don't know what happened. There? Hello? So she picked up twice and then didn't want to take the call. I think that's what it was. And interesting. I was going to say that she DNC'd me right away. Interesting. I think. All right. All right, so here's what I'm doing. I'm taking a look at all of my leads here, and I'm going to call ones that actually don't belong to me. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I want to make sure that all of the leads in my system get called. So let's see here.
Thank you for calling Coldwell Banker Realty. Please press 1 to speak with one of our staff members. Coldwell Banker, Vivian Kirsten speaking. Who may I help you with?
Hi, my name is Mike. I'm calling for, please.
For who? Hold on 1 minute.
Thank you.
With a C?
K.
K.
Yeah.
One minute.
Thank you. All right, I got his cell phone, or hers. Agents, be better than this. You guys have a listing that's brand new on market. I want to buy it. Pick up your phone. Have a voicemail. Answer text messages.
Hello?
Hey, Cameron, this is Mike. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well.
Good. I'm calling you about a new listing of yours, the one in Deltona on Winter Gray Circle.
Yes.
Awesome. Is now a good time to talk?
Yes, it's a great time.
Okay, cool. So I'm looking here at Zillow. I just saw that this thing was listed a couple days ago, I guess yesterday. And I'm looking as a buyer for myself. I'm not an agent. And I'm looking to purchase this as a possible rental. And so I want to give you a call and get a general sense of whether you thought this was a good rental opportunity. Also just get a good idea of what the home is like. It looks like it's a brand new property.
Yes, it was built in 2022, and for renting wise, it was really well. It can rent for about 7 months minimum lease. So I don't know if you could see the details on the HOA on there as well, correct?
Let's see here. Well, you gave me all the pertinent information I need anyway. So 7 months is the minimum lease, so long-term rental is allowed. Are there any density issues at all in the neighborhood that I have to be aware of?
No, other than I'll say it's nothing really. The tenants there, I mean, the residents there, most of them are been there since the property been developed. I'll say no, there's not any of those issues you have to worry about, I'll say.
Okay, cool. Do you know what this might rent for, out of curiosity?
This property might rent for, I would say, around, because it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom right now in that area. can go for maybe about a range from anywhere from 20, 24, 23 to 26, 26, 27. So anywhere from 23 to 27, I would say, the price range wise.
Okay. Okay, cool. I know that you guys are brand new on market. What kind of activity have you received on this? It looks like it's a great house.
Yeah, I held an open house on Sunday, and I got a few people coming, and I have one person looking to probably put in an offer soon. So I'm just waiting to hear back from them. And then right now I'm looking about at 20 different just views on the website alone. So that's pretty well. So I'm just waiting to hear back. It's just got on the market, so I know we're gonna get something going soon.
Okay, cool. So if I want to submit an offer on this, and if I want to submit a cash offer, is there any flexibility at all in the pricing?
The owner, yeah, he is motivated, so there's a little bit of flexibility. I'll have to. It just all depends on the offer, and I'll have to get back to him and let me know what he would like to do. But he is motivated to sell it.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, why don't I do this? I'm going to take another look at the pictures here online. I'll submit an offer to you probably this afternoon, cash offer,
Okay.
and then let me know if there's any traction on your end or if you guys want to counter, and then we'll just take it from there.
All right, perfect. Sounds great.
Cool. Thanks. Hey, by the way, would you mind doing me a quick favor and texting me your email address?
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay,
And,
cool.
You say you were you're your own agent, correct?
I'm not an agent. I'm just representing myself.
Oh, okay. All right, perfect. All right, and then you said you're representing yourself. You don't want to be representative at all. Represented?
No, I mean I don't need it.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right. Okay, then, because like I said, since I'm a realtor, I can help you out as well if you was needed. But okay, sounds great.
Cool. Well, thanks. I appreciate it.
All right, sounds great.
Okay,
I'll
bye-bye.
send you over my email.
Sounds good. All right. Representation. Really, really interesting question. So normally let's put this two different ways, right? If I am going to submit a cash offer on this property and I'm looking to actually wholesale it as a cash deal, I might want to incentivize them by saying, okay, cool. Excuse me. Ooh. Okay. So if I'm doing a cash deal and I'm looking to wholesale this cash deal, I might want to incentivize them by saying, okay, you can represent both sides. In this situation, because what I'm really trying to do is pivot this cash offer into a creative offer, I'm not going to submit an offer that is enticing to them from a cash standpoint, but I do want to have a conversation about creative after they decline my cash offer. And my cash offer to them is going to be that he represents the sell side, someone represents or does not represent the buy side with me over here. And the reason for that is because when I ultimately submit a creative offer, I don't want him to represent me. And primarily just because I don't want to have to pay another 3% on the deal. It makes it more expensive for me to purchase if he's representing both the buy side and the sell side. So with regard to my process and the way that I do this, it can get a little bit tricky because I don't want him to think that he can represent me for either a cash offer or a creative offer because it just increases my expenses. So I don't want that to happen here. Make a note. So leases, a minimum of 7 months. Okay. Awesome. I like that agent. I think that there's a way that I can work with him. Sorry, guys, I'm running into some issues with my CRM right now. I think that last week we had an issue with the data coming in with the incorrect city and state. So I feel like I have to clean this up a little bit. Okay, let's pass that one. Okay. All right, here we go. This is a break-even deal.
This is Maria.
Hey, it's Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I am calling about a listing of yours that I'm looking at on Zillow, the one on...
Yes.
It looks like it's brand new on the market. Have you guys gotten a lot of activity on it?
Yeah, we have.
Okay. Any offers yet? I'm looking to possibly put one in today.
Well, we have a couple that have said they're going to send me something, but the house, we haven't really shown the house yet because of the sellers are trying to move right now. So we are trying to arrange showing time. We're thinking starting Wednesday. So I do have a few people that are interested, but they really haven't seen the house yet.
Got it. If I were able to submit an offer to you guys, would the seller be open to accepting the offer sight unseen?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I choked up a little bit. If I were able to submit an offer, would the seller be open to accepting it if I don't see the property?
Well, we would prefer if an offer comes in, maybe scheduling a showing. Is that something that you would be able to do with your client?
Well, by the way, I'm the buyer myself. I'm not an
Oh,
agent.
you are. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily have to see the inside of the property. I can look at the pictures and see what I'm looking at. So
Right.
That's typically what I would do. So if I submit something, would you rather have me wait until other people get to see it, or should I submit it today?
I would say if you could submit, because we've had a crazy amount of interest in this property. I was explaining to them that when I list the property, I usually don't get several text messages to see it. And so I have other two agents who are ready to submit an offer. They did want her to see it first. So they have been texting me as soon as, I have the showing times available, they will be looking at it. So if you could submit that, that'll be great. And I'll speak with them and we'll go from there.
Okay, cool. I'll do that. The one thing I want to ask you before I let you go is the solar panels. Are those paid for?
Those have a lease.
Okay, and how much is
Those
that
will
lease?
have a transferable lease. I believe right now it's $125 per month. And I believe they go up to 140. I think that's the max where it stays.
Okay, and what's that lease term?
I would have to pull that up. I don't have it with me. I can email it to you if you like.
Yeah, that'd be great. In fact, would you do me a favor? When we get off the phone, would you mind just texting me your email address, and then I'll send you over an offer this afternoon on this, okay?
Yeah, I can do that. Alrighty.
Awesome.
Sounds
Thank you,
good.
Maria.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
All right. Okay, so that's a break-even deal. So what I'm going to do in that situation is submit my cash offer. Again, my process is a little bit different, right? What I'm going to do is accept, or at least expect them to not accept a cash offer, and then for me to pivot. And because that's a break-even deal, looks like it's a really good interest rate. Not really good. It's pretty good. Then that's going to allow me to pivot into a creative instead of them walking away with zero or possibly even having to pay at closing. What I'm going to do is just take over their payments, pay the agent's commission, pay the closing costs, and then help. What's the price point here? I could probably let them walk away with $5,000 or $7,500 or so. So let's see. Just write a note here. Okay. Awesome. Let's keep on going. I talk to this guy.
This is Jeremy.
Hey, this is Mike. How you doing?
Good. How you doing, Mike?
I'm good, thanks. You and I were playing a little bit of phone tag a few days ago. I was calling about your listing on. Is now a good time to touch base? It sound like you're a busy guy.
Yeah. No. Now's the perfect time, actually.
Okay, great. Awesome. So I saw this a couple days ago. I just recently purchased a property in Norfolk, and I'm looking to buy another property to use as a rental property for my portfolio.
Okay.
And
Sure.
so I just want to touch base with you and see if there are any rental restrictions on this property, or if there's anything I should just be aware of as a potential landlord.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any rental restrictions on it. It's not in any type of an association or anything like that.
Okay.
You know, and I think the house is overall very updated and well kept. It was just renovated when I sold it to them maybe 3 years ago. Anyway, so everything was brand new when they bought it. I think the roof was not replaced because it was only 7 years old at the time. So now it's probably 9 or 10 years old. They replaced the HVAC themselves in 2022. So the HVAC is only 2 years old. So all the major components are probably outstanding. So as a rental investment, there shouldn't be any capital expenditures, knock on wood, but shouldn't be any, anything like that.
Yeah.
I do have offers on it currently. But there certainly is still an opportunity though for you if you were interested. Would you be paying cash or would you be financing or how would you be doing that?
I initially want to submit a cash offer, but my next question was going to be if you guys have offers. It sounds like you guys do, which is great. Now, generally, I wouldn't ask this question if you guys had offers on the table, but I thought I'd throw it out anyway. Is there any flexibility at all in the pricing at all if I do pay cash?
I would give it a shot and see, but I doubt there's going to be too much flexibility from the list price because it's going to probably go over that price.
Okay. That's
right
good
now
info.
we have 4 offers, and I do anticipate we have a 5th one coming.
Got it.
So it's going to be over the list price. Nothing crazy. Nothing like we saw in 2021.
Sure.
But I did actually just speak with someone recently who was going to add an appraisal guarantee to their offer. Which meaning that if the appraisal comes in low, they'll pay the difference. So that makes it still not as good as cash, but it still makes it pretty solid.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a highly desired property, so that's good news.
Yeah. It's being on the main road with the single wide driveway is never ideal. But the reason why it works so well on this property is because directly next door is a church parking lot that's always empty, and he's been living there for years now. And every time they have guests over, they always have them parked there, and they've never had an issue with it. And across the street, there's another parking lot across the street. So there's so much parking right next to it that it's not such an inconvenience to have only that one car driveway with being on the main street. You know what I mean?
Got it. Well, it's a happy coincidence. That's a good thing.
It is, yeah. And I don't want to guarantee because obviously the churches I think it's the same church that owns the one on both sides of the street. I don't want to say for sure that you could park there though either because they could always change their mind on that. But just can't imagine why they would because they're never full other than on Sunday morning across the street. They're still not full, but they have people parking there.
Right.
But throughout the week and throughout the evenings, and there's just no reason why they would care, So that's what he's been doing for years now. So it's worked out well.
Okay, good. Yeah, as long as you don't wake up and your car's not there, it's towed or something.
Right. They've never had a towed car before, so and they've actually bumped into the church people there too, and they've never indicated that there would ever be an issue.
Okay.
So,
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let me take another look at this, Jeremy. I'm going to see if it's worth me submitting something. I don't know if I'm going to necessarily compete with the offers that you have. And if I come to that conclusion, then I hope that it sells for way, way over list price for you guys. Okay.
I appreciate that.
Thanks, Jeremy. Hey, Jeremy, do you have anything else that might be worth me taking a look at as a possible rental in the city?
I do have quite a bit in my pipeline coming up here in the next couple months. I guess it depends on price wise, like what you're comfortable with. I do have one I know coming up in Greenbrier for probably around, don't hold me to this, but around $375, probably the next 2-3 weeks.
Okay.
Right over by the Greenbrier Mall. I think it's a slam dunk location, right off of the Birch Road. That'll be a good one. And then I have one over in the Alexandria neighborhood, which is like Tallwood, near Tallwood. That will probably be closer to $400,000. So I don't know what price range, you're comfortable with, but
Well, let's.
I think overall I have like 9 listings in this spring coming up in my pipeline.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Well, let's do this, Jeremy.
Looking at the
Send me over your email address if you don't mind. If you can text that to me, what I'll do is I'll send you an email with the types of properties we're typically purchasing. And then if you come across something, you can just let me know. I'd love to take a look at anything that you do have in the future.
Okay, great. Sounds good.
Thank you, Jeremy. Have a great day.
You got it. You too.
Bye-bye. Okay, so 2 things to note here. All right. One thing that you guys will notice a lot of when I make my phone calls is that I will say some stupid stuff sometimes. I mean, often, actually. And part of the reason I do that is just because my sense of humor is a little bit funky. I also do enjoy having fun on the phone calls a little bit. So 90% of the time, my jokes don't land. I'm used to it. If you guys aren't used to it, we get that. It's not something that comes easy for some people. Let's answer this. Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm awesome. I was calling you earlier, trying to find my notes here. I've been going back and forth. So let me find my notes about the listing that I was calling you about. Do you remember which one it was?
Sure.
Perfect. Thank you. Let me just bring that up here.
You know why I know that?
Why do you know that?
Because I have, which listing you're calling of mine? Because that's pretty much the only one I have right now.
I didn't want to say that, but I've been in your shoes too. I'm not an agent anymore, but I was an agent. And anytime someone would call about a listing, I used to sell apartment buildings. And, as a new agent, you didn't get a whole lot of apartment buildings. And so I knew
Right.
exactly which one I was talking about.
Right. Well, I should be more like that, but I'm being transparent. I mean, I really just started the end of October, but really didn't start like working till beginning of January. So I'll take it. I'm thankful for it. That's for sure.
Welcome to the industry.
Thank you. Thank you.
It'll be a fun ride. You sound like you're going to do great.
Thank you.
I noticed this one a couple days ago when it came on market, and like I said, I'm not an agent. I'm actually looking to buy something for myself in Tallahassee. And for me, it's going to be a rental opportunity. It's not going to be a live-in. And so I guess I was kind of curious if there are any rental restrictions at all on this property. Is there anything that I should be aware of?
Not that I'm aware of as far as rental restrictions. I can figure out how to look that up. I don't think I haven't seen any like covenants or anything for the neighborhood, so they pay HOA, and that's all for lawn maintenance inside the neighborhood. And I don't think I know other people rent in there for sure.
Okay, cool.
Because I door knocked and I met some renters, so I do know that some of those properties are rentals.
Got it. Okay, yeah, no worries. I can take a look at that too, just to double check.
Okay.
And, the other thing I take a look at here is the year built. So it's built in 1996. Do you know if there's any major mechanical things that are going to need to be fixed in the next couple of years?
No. So my home buyer or homeowners have put in a lot to the property as far as like they've only lived there just over a year. I think it was a year in October. But there's nothing wrong. Like it all works. It has a brand new roof, new like counters in the kitchen, bathroom. Everything functions properly. There's newer appliances in the kitchen. They put new fencing in the backyard. There's on the sides, there's like white fiberglass fencing. And in the back is a, how do you call that? Like just black rod fencing.
Mm-hmm.
And that because it backs up to an apartment complex, and that sounds like you don't even really see it. But there's a wooded area that they have right there, and so it gives them just more of a larger feel of the woods. If
Sure.
that makes any sense.
Yeah,
So
it's like a see-through
it
fence.
makes their property look bigger.
Yep, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking at that right
Yeah.
now. Okay.
Yeah, so all of that they added, and everything is clean inside. So I think, it's a great property. And they're moving because they're older and they're looking, do you live in Tallahassee? Or
I don't know. I live in Texas, but I buy rental properties in Florida.
Okay, so there's a whole nother Leilani Plantation area, whole different. It's kind of like a Southwood vibe, if you know what I'm talking about in the properties, but where their houses are closer together. It's kind of just a smaller property, and they have a lot of amenities. It's a neighborhood called Canopy, but they have, when they buy a home there, they have access to a pool, they have access to a tennis court, pickleball court, weight room. So they have grandkids, and they're excited about like the little extra amenities to be able to kind of entertain their grandkids.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, cool.
So that's they have an offering on another property, so we're just working to sell theirs.
Okay. I'm going to throw a complete curveball at you, and
Okay.
feel free to fire away with questions because I know that you'll have them.
I probably will. Hopefully I'll know what you're talking about. But go ahead.
Look, to be completely fair, sometimes I don't even know what I'm talking about, so we'll see if we can get through this together, okay?
Okay, yes, sir.
So I submit offers a couple of different ways. The first way I would submit an offer on a rental property like this is possibly as a cash deal. But what caught my eye with this one is that it looks to me, and I don't know if the sellers have talked to you about this at all, but it looks like they're not walking away with a ton of money at closing. Is that right?
And that's because after they purchased it, they refinanced after they did the roof and the improvements. So that is correct.
Okay. Because what I don't want to do is put them in a situation where I'm offering, $10,000 off the purchase price, and then that's going to affect them negatively with their cash at close. I don't want them to have to pay or walk away with nothing. The other solution that they might want to consider, and I don't know if you've ever done or even heard of something like this, is where what I could do is come in and I could actually pay you your commission directly. They don't have to pay you your commission. And then I would also pay the closing costs. I would pay anything associated with the sale of the property, including their equity at closing, if they would be open to me possibly taking over the mortgage that's already in place. I don't know if that's something you've talked about or even considered with them, but I'm curious if that is.
Yeah, I got another investor email, and I can't remember his name, but I've asked him twice to send me a written offer, and he sent me videos in response to well, this is what I'm doing. And I'm like, okay, that's great. But without an offer, I need an official offer.
Right.
And I know that the homeowner she has a VA loan. And so she's under the impression that if you assume her VA loan, is that what you're talking about, right? Just assuming her loan?
Yeah, close enough, yeah. Yep.
Right. She's afraid that she is no longer able to use that VA loan for her next property.
Got
now,
it.
I can call her lender and verify that, but that is a concern. So
you're right. That is a concern.
Yeah.
And so she's and more for your information, she's partly right. So veterans get a certain amount allocated to them that they can borrow against. It depends on where they're living, the city, the county, all those sorts of things. My assumption is that she's staying local, you mentioned, right?
Correct. she is.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And do you happen to know what the purchase price is of the home that she's looking to purchase next?
Yep, actually, $375.
Okay. Okay, cool. So
Yep.
this is, I'm using this more as a kind of a lesson. I don't want to say that. That's
No,
derogatory.
it's fine.
Um,
An educational opportunity.
An
How about
educational
that?
opportunity. Thank you. So in a situation like this, what happens with a VA loan is that the amount that she's borrowed against her entitlement would stay tied up. However, if she
Correct.
has enough entitlement remaining, which she probably does actually, to still be able to purchase a home with 0% down. So what a lot of people think is that you can only purchase one house with your VA entitlement. The reality is that you have a specific amount that you can borrow against, and that can be across 1 to 10 properties as long as you have that available entitlement. So
Okay.
if you guys do get to the point where you consider something like this, then feel free to use me as a resource. But what I'll do in the meantime is I will send you over an offer so you can take a look at it. And then,
Okay.
you know, let's just use this as something that we can kind of walk through, and another educational experience. And you know, worst case scenario, at least we've had a conversation, we've learned about it, then you and I can do something on a future opportunity.
Okay.
So I'll
That
submit
sounds
something to
good.
you this afternoon, and then let's just talk about it and see if it makes sense. If it doesn't, I totally get it. It doesn't make sense for everybody, but if she would entertain this, then I would definitely be interested.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling me, because like I said, the other gentleman emailed me, but yet, like, I'm like, send me something, right? Like, I gave it to I said I would present it, but he's like, any questions? I'm like, well, I need you to give me an offer.
Right.
And so, like, twice. And like I said, he just sent me videos on, like, how it works. I'm like, okay, that's great, but I still don't have an offer. So, anyway.
Well, I'll send
Okay.
you over the full thing. You can take a look at it, and we'll have a conversation about it later.
Okay, that's fine. And I will check with her lender, because I have had to call her already, so I have her information,
Okay, cool.
and see what her options are, for sure.
Awesome.
So,
And do me a favor, if you don't mind, text me over your email address, and I'll send you over the offer this afternoon.
okay, I'll do that. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
I liked her a lot. She was super cool. Okay, so where should I start on this one? Okay, let's take a look at what she's borrowed so far on her VA loan. We'll do a really quick calculation here. See if I can share my screen. Actually, let me move this. Okay, so first I'm going to look up the address and see what we can possibly do in terms of what they borrow. So 7. Okay. When I'm done looking up the mortgage balance, what I'll do is I'll go to our website and we'll take a look at what they can use of their entitlement if they qualify, if she qualifies. Okay, so she's borrowed $341,303. Okay, so $341. All right, let's take a look at this. Okay, so there's a really easy way to just calculate this. We have a quick little calculator on our website here that helps. 341,303. Let's assume that she has put zero down on this property. She's staying in Florida. So technically she can borrow $425,000 $247,000 with 0% down. So if she's looking to purchase a home that is $375,000, she'll have no problem doing that. So I hope that helped. So the VA entitlement should not be an issue in that situation, other than if there's any sort of debt to income issues or whatever, right? Credit issues. But if it's an entitlement question, I think that she's going to be perfectly okay. What I liked about that agent, I liked the fact that that agent was brand new, right? She mentioned that this is like her first listing. She's been in the business for about 2 months or so. She's been door knocking to find opportunities. Really, really cool. Glad she's doing that. That's the hustle that I like to see in brand new agents. What I also liked about her is the fact that she is literally brand new to real estate. So she hasn't been jaded yet by all of the things that her broker's telling her or colleagues who have been in the business for 30 years. This is something that could possibly benefit her client if we are able to take over the payments. This is a situation where she's like $5,000 or so positive. So it's very close to break even. So if I'm able to offer her $5,000, $7,500, $10,000, depending on where they're at in the listing, then that's going to be possibly more beneficial for her. And it also sounds like she's a little bit older, the seller is. And so maybe, just maybe, she won't care as much about what happens in the future. So we'll see about that. This is a really cool situation, I think, for this agent. I like the fact that she's new, and I like the fact that we can handhold her throughout the process and explain to her. And as I've mentioned before, always, I am much more interested in a long-term relationship with agents than I am with just getting this one deal done. Okay, let's answer this one. Hi, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm really well. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. I was put in touch with you by your primary office on your new listing that you have on.
Yeah.
And so I saw that it was just listed just even a couple days ago, and I'm kind of curious about a couple things. First off, I'm looking at it as a buyer. I'm possibly looking to rent it. So buy it, then rent it. And so this is a townhome, right?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, I was echoing. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, this is a townhome.
it's a townhome, and are there any rental restrictions at all?
So with the rental restrictions, there is a minimum of 6 months.
Okay. Got it.
Mhm.
All right. No concern there.
Mhm.
You guys have gotten a ton of
And
views. I bet you guys have tons of offers.
So we do have, we haven't received an offer. We've just been verbalized like through a phone call and then a few emails with offers
Okay.
potentially, but nothing officially submitted. So as of right now, I would say no.
Okay. Got it.
Mhm.
If I were to submit an offer, a cash offer, is there any flexibility on the price?
It depends if you were to submit a cash offer potentially. I know with them, we priced it at $310 to be competitive to try to move things along faster. So the pricing is already very competitive right now. But if you submit an offer, I will present it to them and then they can decide from there. And then another thing I will say is for the renting aspect of it, because we received another potential interested buyer about renting it, and they asked a similar question about rental restrictions and with a 6-month minimum. So my clients, they are building a new house, and so that's not ready till the end of December. So they would turn around and rent it if that was an option. Like if that was your plan too, they would rent it back.
Got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. They'd be happy to do that too.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, I'm fine doing a lease back, or, December's a long time, but if it was a couple months, I could also extend closing. So I'm really flexible, I guess is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah, because they were like, we'd prefer to just stay if we could and then pay rent as on a lease.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, as far as offers, nothing right now, just a lot of interest. And then we have a few showings coming up this week. And then as far as renting, you can rent 6 month minimums, and then sellers would like to rent back if that is potential. And then flexibility with price, as long as there is a formal offer, I'll submit it, and then they can just kind of go from there.
You know what would be really interesting that just occurred to me? I've never run into the situation, but let's say hypothetically that we close in August. I know it's not going to happen, but let's just say August. And then I lease it back to the sellers. I wonder if we're going to get dinged because that's technically a 4-month lease.
What do you mean close in August?
I'm just kidding. It's more of an interesting question because you mentioned that there's a 6-month lease minimum, but if we leased it back to the sellers for less than 6 months, I wonder if that's a thing that would offend an HOA or an association of some sort. I doubt that it would, but it's an interesting point to bring up. That's all.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So why don't I do this then? I'll take another look at this. I haven't exactly put a number in my head quite yet, but I do want to take a look, and then I'll probably submit an offer to you in the next couple days or so.
Sure.
And if it goes somewhere, great. If it doesn't, then let me know, and then we'll figure something out just to continue the conversation.
Okay, and then so you said that you would be the buyer. Do you have your license? Like, are you able to access the documents, or do you want me to send that to you?
You mean the standard contracts?
Well, the disclosure statements for it, like the history of it and all of that.
There's some things that I don't have, but I have the standard purchase and sale agreement. I have other documents as well. If there's something that I'm missing, then we can find a way to work together just to get that thing down the road.
Yeah, I can text it to you. It's just like the history of the home, and then also the restrictions from the HOA. So I can send that so that you can look over it.
Perfect. That sounds great.
If you want to email me. Yeah, you can just text me your email and I'll send that to you, okay?
Okay. And do me a quick favor too. I'm going to send you my email. If you could just respond with yours so I know where to send an offer, that'd be great.
Okay, that sounds great.
Thank you, Sleek. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, of course. Likewise.
Okay,
Take care.
bye-bye.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay, so I totally misunderstood what she was saying there. Happens all the time with me. Sounds like she was asking if I could access the documents that were on her MLS, things like disclosures, CC&Rs, those sorts of things, which I can't, right, because I don't have MLS access. But I thought she was referring to, writing up a contract and putting it on state form, which I do have access to. So, we'll send her a cash offer also. We'll just see where that thing goes. I think that it's going to be possibly a good opportunity for us to put something on the table. It's not like it's a major equity spread. In this situation, it's $13,000. What I also found really interesting too is that she said that she was listing it competitively at $310, but the sellers want to lease it back until December. And what I would think would happen instead is that she'd mark it up pretty high because there's no rush to sell it, right? I would think that if someone's going to live there, they're going to want to move in right away and not wait until December, especially in the middle of winter. This is in North Carolina. So, who knows how that's all going to play out. But what I would think is that I would personally list it at a higher price to see if I can get a buyer who is going to pay something and then possibly list it or lease it back to the new buyers. So anyway, guys, today's going to be a little bit shorter. I do have to hop into another meeting, but I appreciate you guys watching. I think we got a lot of really good stuff done today. I think the takeaway for me, and that's actually one thing that I wanted to point out about the last call. Actually, I've said this before, but this is super, super important. The idea of follow-up is so incredibly important. That agent before said that she has not received an offer from someone who said that they were going to send her something. So what I want to encourage all of you guys to do is do exactly what you say that you're going to do. If that's an offer, send it. If it's an email, send it. If it's a text, do all those sorts of things, because what we have to do is layer trust and business ethics into some of these things. So Sorry, let me just cancel that. So anyway, just do what you say you're going to do. And in that situation, I think that investor has lost some credibility because they haven't sent an offer. So if I send an offer now because I've said I'm going to send an offer, I think that I'm going to build that trust back up, or at least I'm going to look a whole lot better. So thank you guys. That completes day 7 of our 90-day challenge. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. Keep watching. A lot of good stuff coming ahead. We'll talk to you guys.